Hello, everybody. Welcome back to From Another Zero. I am so excited. We've been having so many cool interviews for the channel this year, and today is joining me Tamara Rodriguez. Hi, from the Maytrix Experience and the Indigo Collective, which we're going to get into. How are you today, my love? How are you?
First of all, I love that I'm going full out for every interview. Everything that I do is like Matrix classes. I'm just ready to share this enthusiasm of what is the Matrix with all of you. As a thespian, as a theater nerd, as a film nerd, I get very bubbly and very energized over such things as pop culture and iconic moments in film and in life, in our era, something that marked so much of who we are as a society. And so excited because I get to do something outside of the box. I do a lot of musical theater. You've been to a lot of the shows that I've done, and I'm so thankful that you're such a supporter and such a visionary of like kindness and always allowing theater companies to see like what's threading the needle of this beautiful quilt in our San Diego tapestry of theater. Ooh, that came out kind of nice, I think.
Really nice. That's really nice.
My tongue. I can feel very happy about this moment. I just feel, when you found something that really feeds your soul and something that you will do whether you're make money or not. And I think I can vouch for all the artists, but definitely I'm so excited for the innovation of the art. And I'm so excited to heal people. Healing is like my number one thing that I'm meant to do in life. I'm a 12th house Virgo. I can go through the whole list of why I'm supposed to be healing. I love astrology. You know me. You follow me on Insta. I love the esoteric. I find the realm of mystery in everything that I do. And that's why it works, because I find the mundane, the magic, the Virgo, and the mundane, the Pisces. So magic, Pisces, mundane, Virgo. Ow! There we go. That's me.
It is all that combination of factors. Yeah.
And so little by little, been growing what is going to be hopefully a new outlook into a wellness theatrical experience, combining the two of my passions together. I am a full on healer. I do about 20 classes a week of yoga at Core Power. I've been doing that for 10 years. I am a devotee of service to the community, and I love to be in the room where people. And I always here's another great moment for me to call in the artists who need a space to heal. Hello, I can offer that for free. Happy to comp your class anytime. I'm here to heal the trauma that has been unfortunately passed on through generation. I'm an immigrant. I can, the list goes on.
The list goes on and on. Yeah, well, just comp that first class, girl. Like, just the first one. So they can get a taste, and then when they want more,
Agreed.
Everybody, so it's a win-win. And there's so much to unpack, but I want to start with this project, and then I want to go to who you are, where you come from, because the following, the background. I mean, I want more people to know, or the audience that follows us over here at the Zero, to know where you come from, your background, and all this. And aside from all the musical theater and theater that we've seen you in these past years. So the Indigo Collective, when did this start? How did this happen? Well, what's the deal with that?
Indigo Collective, where it stemmed from was a specific group of artists that I'm working with that are kind of like my soul family. People who I've met through yoga, through wellness, but that all happen to be extraordinary artists. We all come from all walks of the world, and together we put on this event. And just for the name of the event, I called it the Indigo um, chakra, right? We were activating our throat chakra. So that color was a main focus on our event, and it was a sold out event, and people loved it. And from that moment, last May, we're turning 1 year. I had all these downloads of like, okay, so in this world, what do we need more of? And we need agencies, or kind of like an agent of sorts that helps artists propel and create content that is pushed forward into a global scale. That's what a true artist needs, because they're all focused on their craft. And what do we need? We need people who love what we do. We need the niche. We need true following.
Mhm.
And then we need to create content, because hey, I'm in this world for the last 15 years. I've been a professional, and I 5 years ago was told, like, you don't have an Instagram, we can't hire you. So then I made it my task, like, Gen X and Gen Z, you have nothing on me. Pow, 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 pow. And just stayed, you know, unapologetically who I am. My voice is my voice. My energy is my energy. I didn't want to do the kitschy things, or like, I didn't want to be the same as everybody. And so how do you find your voice? And so that social media has been such a beautiful step forward for me into like discovering the importance of creating clear content that resonates with who you are, and that can invite people to also vibrate in your frequency.
Yeah.
So then Indigo Collective was then in my mind, like, oh my gosh, it's like MTV, but led by a wild woman. If a wild woman that support a space where we can do content creation of the top caliber, so that artists can then take, that's like the best kind of like cash flow for an artist. Not only are we also creating this environment where tip your artist, your QR code is right next to you in your station, and you get to love the people, the artists, but also it's a place where you will be paid in content. You will, depending on how much you collaborate and how much you are intricate of integrate yourself into an event, you will be paid. And so it's a collaborative effort to create amazing moments that will be filmed and protected through the memory of a lens, which is so important, which is something that gets very frustrating as a thespian, as a theater girl, because we can't film the shows. Everything is, lawsuits and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, I am like, I love theater and I'll keep doing theater. Absolutely, 100%. But what is the future of this collaborative space where we can truly help each other as artists to grow and to create? Because I think that's the power of an artist, is the creation. That's what AI will never be able to do, is like birth true physical things into reality. So that is the kind of like the main focus of Indigo Collective now. I am a kind of visionary, if you go to the event, you'll see like projector, self-projecting projector. That's me. I'm here to bridge the gap between where an artist is going and where they have to go, where they're meant to go. And that vision comes from people that I can see and tap into beautiful lines of energy that are still not happening because there's something blocking you. And that energy, sometimes it's not the way that you think it is, like that success is. Especially if you're a millennial or prior to that. We're all like, you have to get your Broadway, you have to do this, you have to have this, you have to have that. No, that does not pertain to our reality anymore. a chipmunk could have more exposure on the internet by 5 seconds of them doing something funny than you, right? And so that's kind of like what the world is going now into, this beautiful tap of like we're one consciousness, so easily connecting now. How can we tap into that frequency faster? By creating beautiful content. But that content is, for Indigo Collective, is never going to be negative. That content, if you want to be part of Indigo Collective, we're here to vibe up, to be a higher frequency, a portal of higher frequency, using esoteric teachings to like give the world the tools they need to grow up, to heal up. And so that's what the Indigo Collective is. It's a generational power tool to upgrade not only yourself, but upgrade the universe. Because I believe in that power of art is the force, right? Like we are all Neil, and we are all awakened when we tap into that space of creation. So yeah, that's basically MemTV led by a wild woman. Hello.
Come in, right?
Come in.
I love it. So the event, the Maytrix Experience on May 4th, and it's going to be this combination with yoga and some performative content and things like that. Can you tell us, like, and then there's different tiers, right, that people can purchase. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. I've had so much fun experimenting with how I would approach this experience. As you said, the Matrix, like, pop culture references are here to help explain the esoteric. The esoteric in this case is going to be a focus on human design. Human design. I know it sounds like what? But human design is a tool used by many people, especially billionaires and millionaires. And it's a tool that is available to all of us. All you need to know is like when you were born, just like astrology. And it pieces together all sorts of codes. From Eastern to Western, you have the Tao Ching, you have the chakras, you have the gene keys, you have the astrology. So it pieces together really important, vital aspects of your archetype, of your subconscious and your conscious. And I know this is deep, and I'm not the expert here. We have an actual human design maven expert that I've connected with. And I was like, how can we do the esoteric to the people who are like just wanting to have a fun night? So then comes in the vision, right? And the vision of like theatrical connections. So the theatrical connections are, okay, how are we going to have the people after the hip hop yoga? That's like cool. You enter hip hop yoga. We rented this film studio. Again, how do we create the content? We go to epic locations. This epic film studio in Carlsbad. And we have a laser show, a whole production of laser show that is grouped together with DJs that will create the ambience of the Matrix, like club scene, right? However, after the hip hop yoga, it's 1 hour, and I'm so excited for you to do it with us, Alejandra. Have you ever done yoga?
I have done yoga a couple of times. I have to confess that it's kind of violent for me. We have not. There hasn't been a mesh, a click in there.
I get it.
Pilates lady, so
100%. And you're going to see a lot of Pilates things that are going to be kind of like crossover, because we're doing a special class here where it's like an invitation for everybody to move. And why is it yoga? Are we calling this yoga? Because we're breathing. We're freaking breathing. That's the yoga. If you come in and breathe with us in the music, in the sync, you are doing the yoga, sister. You are.
Well, people that want to go don't have to be experts or yogis.
No. In fact, the more you don't know, the more you're going to surprise yourself. It's going to be a very fun experience because the lights are going to be dim. Imagine yourself in the club. No one cares what you do. No one can actually see you, especially if you're wearing glasses like I am. You will be led by me. I do a really fun, energetic hip hop yoga experience. At the end of that, we're gonna breathe. We're gonna have a 10-minute breathing cycle all together. If you've never had an opportunity to breathe with 100 other people, it's like nothing you've ever done before. It's so powerful, so emotional. Things can happen. So that's what we're doing. We're opening up the physical, right? Opening up the layers, and that's where the pill comes in. It's like, oh, it's like all of a sudden you're not tensing up, you're not like putting a barrier, you're not putting yourself in a space where you're like, I don't want to connect with others. Now you're all of a sudden like free, and you might experience a little bit more of like, okay, now I can open my heart to and mind to learn something new. And that's where the 4 activations come in. So after that, we have some headphones, some silent disco type of headphones, and they will take you on the 15-minute journey every activation. What does that mean? We have a pre-recorded message from Human Design Maven, and he's basically going to give you the 411. Like, this is what a generator is. There are 4 types of human design currently in humanity. So there's 4 that you can be that pertain to this consciousness. So generator, manifester, projector, and reflector. There are way more generators and manifestors than there are projectors and reflectors. And we'll go through why and what is each design here to do, and why how do you vibe, how is your energy work, and how can you better collaborate with other designs. And again, that's another aspect that I really want to work on, is like, you learn about yourself. Okay, I for example, Alejandra, do you know your human design yet? I will hook you up with Human Design Maven. So for example, you go to this event and there's going to be multiple places where you can find your human design. So you check, okay, I'm a generator per se. I want to say you're more of like a manifesting generator. That's my guess. That's my wild guess. What's your sign again? Tell me your sign.
Gemini. I'm a
honey, Gemini. That's why we're talking. That's why your throat chakra is so activated.
I'm
That's why
bipolar.
No. It's not bipolar. It's about seeing 2 sides of a coin. And that's the beauty of a Gemini. You see 2 sides of everything, the good and the bad. And that's why the 2 sides are information valuable to make an opinion. And that's why your opinions are so valuable to everyone. Thank you, Gemini. Thank you, Gemini.
I root for all my Geminis. And people are like, no, you're a Taurus. I'm like, I'm not a Taurus because I'm right in the cusp. I'm May 21st.
I love that Taurus cusp, because that makes you, that's why you slow down. That's why you slowed me down, because I have a Gemini moon. I am a Gemini moon. So my mind is like, like nonstop. So thank you, Taurus cusp, for slowing me down. And then enjoying, and then being able to absorb the amount of information I'm giving you. That takes a Gemini. Thank you. Also, so we're the event. You're already finished with the hip hop yoga. You go into the activation. So imagine this film studio that has 24 artists. And what are these artists doing? Some of them are called free flowers. They live kind of like in the in-between world. And those free flowers, let me tell you, are people that have organically flowed into the Indigo Collective that are local. And some of them do, for example, henna tattoos, glow-in-the-dark henna tattoos. Some of them are going to do upcycling, specific like designs that or garments that you can purchase. Some of them are going to be, one of them is going to do aura reading. There's going to be aura portraits. There's going to be live artists moving into the space. All of them are synced up to what is the energy, the vibe that the room is giving you. And that is like during each an activation is going to change. Generator, maybe the Gemini is a generator. Yeah. And we're going to do a drum circle. So the activation starts, there is a performance. There's always like a little like, hello, generator. And then here's a beautiful, incredible song tapping into the Matrix, right? Coming back to the Matrix theme, creating that continuity, that transition, because she comes from theater, so she wants things to be flawless and like not be like, okay guys, turn the lights on, now it's time for this.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I mean,
the structure of it all.
no hate in that, no hate in those events, but that's why I want to upgrade the wellness event to make it more artistic, more like experience. So yes, you are inside of like an active theatrical experience, but there's more free flow, there's more interactive elements to it. So now you're in that, you just heard the HDM, human design, information. You take off your headphones. Maybe you don't want to hear the human design maven information. Maybe you're more caught up in what's happening in the room. And then we go to the actual 30 minutes of activation of a full on drum circle. Okay, great. You can choose to do a drum circle. If you're in the VIP, you get to do biohacking, which is the cold plunging, which is the facial, which is the human design micro reading. So things can happen. You don't have to be present in everything that we do. This is an invitation to take what you want and maybe come back for this event again, so that you can like tap into it again and like, oh, I missed this during the event. And that's what we want to do. It's like there's going to be a little bit for everybody. Yes, sorry, we love a drink. I mean, I don't drink, but I want to invite people to observe a space of psychedelic energy with their own buzz, with their own journey of like, the experience is going to make you feel like you are already drunk. Like it's already there. So then you go into manifesting, the manifesting activation. And again, I'm going to go a little faster now on the activations, but the manifester, we have Miss Danielle Airy, that I know you know her, right? From all the shows you've seen? Danielle Airy? Does it sound familiar? So here I am highlighting people like Miss Danielle Airy is a fantastic dancer, singer, actress, but she also has this super unique talent where she's a aerialist. She actually was she did aerial for Signet Show and for the production of Chicago that I was in. It was wonderful. And ever since, I'm like, I am going to put you in a show that I do. Like, I just have this need to nurture people in their beautiful talents that they have. It's like I have a need for it. I have like a need to give them that opportunity to shine in a place that normally they wouldn't know how to shine. Just to get you excited, right? Around her, you're going to have a manifesting activity where you're going to like write down what it is that you want to manifest, and her, at the same simultaneously performing. So it's like little bits and pieces of things that are interactive and pieces that are the show. And then you have the projector. You have a whole like art projection exhibit that you'll be part of. And then you have the reflector, which is reflectors make the smallest amount of the human design. So I think, I am not the expert, but I think it's like the 5% of the population is a reflector. And so for reflectors, we want to bring them back in. So we're going to give you eye masks. We're going to take you back to the ground, to that like space where we ended the yoga, the shavasana, and actually like do nothing and experience everything with your eyes closed. And that's how we end the night. So we go from yoga to 4 activations that are the generator, manifester, projector, reflector. You might be like, oh, this is my vibe. This is who I am. Oh, this is what I am. And then it's like, oh, this is what my mother is. This is what my siblings are. This is what my sister is. This is how I can understand them, by like doing these activities that help me find their vibe and understand them a little bit more, and therefore create more kind of symbiosis with your human friends and your partners and all that, so that hopefully we can share the love a little bit more. So yeah, a lot of things happening in this event.
So this is, from what I'm seeing, it is because it's 4 hours, right? That's
4.5 hours.
4.5
It starts at
hours.
6 o'clock. Like, if you want to come in at 5:30, I would really invite you all to come in earlier,
Mhm.
so that you can take advantage of the free flow artists that have services or have beautiful little things that they want to share with you. The vendors are going to be incredible and delicious. Food is going to be Mexican food, obviously. Yo soy de Monterrey. I'm from Monterrey, Mexico. So
Arriba el
aquí
norte.
mis chicharrones truenan. So we have that Mexican touch. And then what better thing to do than to like get to know the people that you're gonna go through the experience. These are gonna be 100 people of your tribe. Hopefully, if this intrigues you, if this makes you curious, that means that you should be coming to this event,
Wow.
especially if you live in San Diego. Why? Because it's all about entering the matrix. It's like Alice going to Wonderland. It's what we want to do in each show. We want to get lost. We want to find ourselves within the characters and within the archetypes, right? To like release your inner critic. I know that you are a beautiful critic of theater, but like an invitation to release your inner critic so that you can have love and compassion for yourself as like, this is who I am. I am so beautiful. Getting to know you is so, so darn beautiful, especially for actors, because we get so spiraled up into like all art alter egos, and then how we want people want us to be, and like direction and da 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 da, and then we're so lost. Like, who is the real me? Who is the person behind the glasses? Here I am.
Woo!
Like, he's here. That was my cue. That was a perfect dramatic moment
Love it.
for to reveal who my true self is, right? And like, who is behind the mask, and who are these artists and people and healers and thinkers that want to connect so that we can make a better world and collaborate and help artists create beautiful content, help artists make art, help artists be who they are. I think that's how we solve a lot of our problems as humans.
Yeah, I would assume that if there's artists that have a sort of, well, anybody really, that they have a sort of a blockage or something, that might be helpful and kind of release what's those blocks that are not letting you do what you have to do. So the tiers in the price is because if the higher the tier, the more the experiences you get to do. That's
Yeah,
kind of like what it is, right?
exactly. So, for example, you just want to come in to do the yoga. That's totally fine. That's 1 hour of your day. Come do the yoga, experience a little bit, and have a taste of what the Indigo Collective is. So it's the $44 for a just the yoga portion of it, the hip hop yoga. So we have a DJ, laser show, yoga. You can come in at 5:30, enjoy the vendors and the artists. If you are going to do the general admission, which involves the activation, the four activations, the human design um, activation, then that's 111. So you're not cut after 7 o'clock. You get to stay from 5:30 to 10:15, and you get to experience the human design uh, stations. And so that is integrated with your general admission. You get to do all of that is involved within those activations. You get to see the performers. You get to get more of the energy in the free flowers and the vendors. We're going to have a couple of raffles thanks to our sponsors. And you get to experience the whole thing. It makes so much more sense to do the whole thing. But I opened it up so that moms, for example, that only have 1 hour, you can do just that. The next tier, and we only have 3 more tickets left. I think three. I think as of now there were 3.
Wow.
This is the BIP. So a lot of what Indigo Collective does is more BIP. Why? Because it's a smaller gatherings. Like, we do 1 or 2 gatherings a month, and they're very small, and they pertain to a lot of work individually. So what it is, it's biohacking. So you get a cold plunge. Imagine doing a cold plunge, like, and you're getting like blasted by amazing performers from the Daring Greatly, the Kroon Brothers, Maggie Nolan, myself, Danielle Airy, and the amazing DJs. and the laser show. So you're like adrenaline is kicking. You can actually feel like the body shifting and changing as you biohack, and the heart and the spirit changing. Like it's just a whole like morph energy, right? That's the included. You get a mini facial. So we have we work with a lot of healers. That's big part of Indigo Collective is the healers. So body workers get stagnant energy that resides in our body. Specifically, like if you're a vocalist, I highly recommend like facial work. Facial muscle work is so important. She is Irina is an amazing facialist. She's an award-winning facialist, and she always works with Indigo Collective. So you get a mini facial, then you get a mini reading with Human Design Maven. So you get a personalized reading with who is truly one of the greatest channelers of human design. I got my reading last year, and this is why I created an event. Literally, by this reading, I redefined what was dormant in my subconscious and what I was truly supposed to do rather than what I was programmed to do or what I was like. And my parents, my generational trauma, all that was enabling me to do something because it's trauma, right? Trauma doing the work. And then it's like, oh, never mind. I awoke to who I truly should be. This gave me the power to make my visions louder and to be able to step into my power. And how remarkable that is to be like in this space right here with you, not be afraid. Like, what is this thing? Is it theater? Is it art? Is it yoga? Like, yeah, it's all of the above. It's all the things it's all that I love. It's the innovation. It's what I'm missing in my life. It's what I as an artist want. It's where I want to be on a Friday night, Saturday night, Thursday night, any night, because it's going to give me that ability to find my inspiration with the people that are inspiring me, right? The collective that inspires me. We need each other. We can't do it by ourselves. We need each other. Some of us are good at this, some of us are good at that. And how do we recognize our talents? By going inward, by going into your inner journey of self-discovery. And yes, sometimes you find that beautifully in like going deep into a study of acting, or like a character that really connects with your life. But like stepping away from that and being like, who is Tamara? Who is Alejandra? Come deep within so that you can discover yourself, so that you can step out of this space and be like, okay, I want my art to flow this way now because I found my true voice. I think that's so remarkable, and that's what has inspired me to create things like this. I feel this force of strength and courage that has dwelled deep within me since I was little, but now it's like that wild woman, the waters are flowing. Like it's just like the waters are flowing. I can't stop creating. I can't stop doing things that make my heart burst into beautiful cosmic bubbles. And so that's what I'm going to do. And that's hopefully an invitation to you to step into this world. And if you want to be part of Indigo Collective as an artist, I love that. You want to be a audience member, fantastic. You want to be a sponsor, whatever you want to do in this space, the invitation is here.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And so the people that are interested, again, I want to really like frame it. It is wellness combined with theater, and I feel like it's in a retreat kind of sort of environment, and that's why you're there. If you're going to do the long run, let's say, for that day, and the experiences have to do with the different tiers. The food is not included in your
correct. Food and drinks are not included. And this is so that we can make way for the prices not to be as high.
Okay.
So yes, the tiers are 44 for the yoga, 111 for general admission, and then 333 for the VIP. We are in a film studio, so this feels very much like a club. Like it is a club, but you are at the same time like you could possibly be doing a cold plunge, and there's going to be a street area, like it opens up to the street where our food will be, where our another designated area. If you don't want to be in the thick of the music, for example, you're like getting a little tired, your ears are getting a little tired, you can go back into the other room where there's going to be the vendors and like another energy. There's going to be sound healing there at all times. So if you just want to like not be in the big energy, you can. So this space is a huge film studio. That's why I had to like price the tickets, because we're literally just paying for the place. This place is used for massive film productions. At all times, the room will be alive and the room will be an energy in itself. So yes, it is like not a spa, but it's like if you were going to the Maytrix Club.
Yeah,
This is what it would be.
I can see that.
This is like the Maytrix Club. Yes, bring your latex. Yes, bring your fashion, your Matrix fashion. This is like the encouraging, again, back to the Matrix. Like pop culture, like we want to embrace that energy. We want to bring that iconic fashion, iconic vibe to step out of your comfort zone. Again, as an artist, that's what I love to do. I love to dress up. I love to become other characters, and in that turn, find me. Like, yes, that's like a way of like navigating the scope of Gemini.
Yeah,
you need to like in the Gemini inner world. I'm like, I need to be Sasha Fierce and like Mother Teresa.
Yeah,
at the same time.
I totally get. Yeah, and it's good to have these outlets, let's say. And if you can't, and if you, like you mentioned before, if you haven't found it yet, then you go ahead and create that space. So that's really cool, and combine it with all these elements. So yeah, and there's a few tickets left, you mentioned, of one of the tiers.
Oh, the VIP. The VIP, we only have limited amount because we can only fit in X amount of people in the cold plunges and in the facial world and in the package that we include. For the VIP, you do get food and beverage also. So that's 333 for VIP, and you have all inclusive. And that's why the price ranges are different, because I wanted to make it accessible for everyone. And in fact, Alejandra, I'm going to throw in, just because we're in this space and a lot of artists are going to watch us, I do have a special price for artists. And that is the general admission tier, the 111. We bring it down to 66, and that's for artists, and a price that I know will help them maybe take the step forward. And especially if you're an artist, you don't have money to spend, right? So it's called yeah. So it's Indigo Child, all in capital letters. Indigo Child on Eventbrite, and you'll save $44, which is pretty good.
That's awesome. That's May 4th. So check that out. You guys have your website. And then the following, because there's people that don't know that you were in a famous reality show in Mexico, right?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, and my past keeps haunting me, because actually now the band, like, it was looking for a band. It was called Timbiriche.
Timbiriche, which was a very successful pop band in pop group in Mexico.
Yeah. So when I was literally 15, I've done 2 reality shows. So what did I mention? I had trauma in my life. Did I mention that?
It comes from there. I'm sorry.
I mean, who doesn't have trauma going into the business, at 15? Reality show as a millennial, like 2005, that was a wild time for reality TV. There was everything was allowed. Like, it was not like, oh, you can't tell a girl, a 15-year-old girl, like, oh, you will only be an actress and you will only be a model. You can't be this and that. Like, they were so mean. They were so mean. However, I did 2 reality shows. The first one was Quinceañera for Telemundo. And
Oh.
then the year after, I know that one was a huge deal because it was Telemundo just became bought by NBC,
Mm-hmm.
and there were 10 girls, and this was massive casting, and I ended up my opportunity again, human design, opportunist, hermit, opportunist. So I'm in the right time in the right place doing Sound of Music in Monterrey, and the choreographer knows the producer looking for 2 more Mexican girls because they had cast the whole like United States, and they were looking like for 2 Mexican girls that could sing. But here's the other caveat: your mom had to sing too.
Oh my
So
God.
my mom, here, enter the character of my mom, mi mamá, Janet Nel, manifesting generator, Aries. So she's like beautiful, always had singing and dancing, and she couldn't do it because her parents didn't let her do it. So
Mm.
um, she did that reality show with me, and then by the way, that show had Alison Irahita, who was a runner-up at in American Idol. Allison won the Quinceañera, the show that I was in. And that was the first reality show that Telemundo created, and I guess that was like the last show they did. It was too much with the moms. It was like before Dance Moms,
Yeah.
and the moms were just like, it was unhinged reality show. We had microphones. We were like in a Big Brother house, unhinged. And then we did. Then I was in over my, like
Yeah, you're
with
like,
my
if that's not enough.
it was 2005 and 6 that the reality shows were just pumping. They were just like in the peak. And here happens to be an opportunity of La Nueva Banda Timbiriche.
Mm-hmm.
And again, very popular band, like the 80s and the 90s. La Nueva Banda, the Timbiriche was the band for Mexico and Latin America. Paulina Rubio, Ben Ibarra, Thalia,
Yeah.
Ricky Martin. So many people came out from, or wait, Ricky Martin?
Ricky Martin was in Muñecos de Papel, and Muñecos de Papel was
They
in
were
Soap
they were
Opera that mashed the Timbiriches.
Eduardo Capetillo. There were so many people. Eric Rubin, Ben Ibarra. I mean, that's more of like the Mexican crowd knows them.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, here I go to audition. Again, like 140,000 people auditioned for this. Somehow I made it to the end again.
Wow.
Like, but this one was crazy. This one was in the actual like Big Brother house, Mexican Big Brother house.
Mm-hmm.
I was 16. We were mic'd up day and night. We couldn't. There were no telephones, right? No phones. It was pre like the social. It was there was maybe what before YouTube was MySpace. The MySpace was existent. That was it, right? And then we were mic'd up day and night. We had these recurring like every week we had to learn 5 songs. I had a little bit more experience now because I had one reality show in my experience back, but before that I had been more of a dancer. Like I was a full-on dancer, and then got into singing as like, oh, I can sing, mom. Can I get some voice lessons? And then right after that, it was like, you're going on national television and singing for millions of people. And then these coaches that are, that's a whole nother session we could do. debunking the
reality show.
Those coaches are coaches there to help you, but they're really puppeteers because what they want to create is like the ratings. Exactly. They want the good people and the bad people. And so, I had a whole like existential crisis because I have this like really natural mix. I love that I can tell you about this, but like my mixed voice, like my mix is there, and I can always sing theater. That was always like part of my instruction. Like my teachers would be like, sing there, and then I would be in these shows. And in Mexican pop culture, we like to sing down here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't sing in your mix. Mix is prohibited. And like I had this whole existential crisis because I'm like, but my mix is so available. And they're like, no, you have to sing lower because that's the only voice they want to hear. So a whole like cuckoo's nest of like what it is to sing and what is good and bad, and then the whole like ratings thing. And at the end, I was like given the all the way to the semifinals, and to be honest, like I was kind of like gearing to be in the final, but then this is like the chisme. Like my mom, love her, she was like seeing some things that were not well, like for example, indecent shots of me while I was performing by cameramen, uh, being underage, and my mom being an Aries, being like my daughter is not gonna be like, I have to protect her.
Yeah.
Like that's my mom. It's like protect her, and back in that day, or always, maybe now still, like you can't speak your mind as a mom. You can't have that like angry mom voice because you're out. So thankfully, I was out, because then I would have been just trapped. I would have just been trapped. So at that moment, I was like, "Mom," and then like that whole thing. But then I was like, "Thank you, Mom, for having the balls to like defend your child." And like this always makes me like feel so vulnerable. But like, thank you, Mom, for giving me everything that you have to me in this place, and now I can be like who I am without my art being like in a space of Televisa, which is nothing bad to that, but like it is that like I feel so thankful for not being tied to that. Like I feel so relieved. My soul feels so. I could like already every time I talk about it regurgitate that emotion that I feel of like thank you for not trapping me into that like horrid um, cycle of like maybe having fame, but at the same time like
the sacrifice that comes
getting that side that was part of it, which is not good for no one, for especially for young people with very big hearts. And I am a huge empath, so I feel so much more, and I am so much more easily influenced because of that. So thankful that I didn't get trapped into that. I can now like toss and applaud all the people who were part of that. Applaud my fellow castmates who are now going on tour, because now everything's like
there's the reunion happening. I know.
Nostalgia 2.0. Nostalgia.
I know. Everything's about reunions now. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of Mexican people. It's like we are great fans. We support no matter what. So that's what it taught me. It's like find your tribe, find your fans. The fans will help you in everything. And so yeah, that was my past, but still very present, as you can tell, wearing my heart in my sleeve at all times. And just allowing that to be like, hey, I went through that. Let me tell you my experience and now as a teacher, because I teach young women and I teach young men, and old and young alike. What it is to have those opportunities thrown in at you at a very young age, and are you prepared or not? Can you be okay with the choices you made in that moment, and then forgive yourself for all the things that weren't in your control? So a huge like that's another episode of like psychology and like how the world throws you, and like that whole thing about like I was supposed to be in the novelas and in that world, and maybe I would have been in another chapter, another reality, but the course of how the events took me to right now, and right now is like I couldn't be happier right now, and that's the true success. Success is like being happy now, being proud of who you are right now, and that is like all that took me to here, and I am blessed for that experience, blessed that I can do regional theater in San Diego, the most beautiful city in the world, and blessed that I can be inspired by this city, by the people, by my esoteric learnings that help me to heal deep generational wounds deep uh, teenager wounds and all of the wounds, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm like here to heal and here to invite people to art, and yeah, like recognize each other and what you've been through. Recognize that you are alive, and that's the best part of it. It's is like we're alive. Let's just enjoy life to its
Mhm.
fullest.
I just wanted to tap into it because I wanted more people to know more about your background, because I feel it's like with everything,
Mhm.
it just shows sometimes like one side of what we do. And in this case, that I love this interview is that you're showing me the Indigo Collective side, and I already
Mhm.
knew your theater and musical theater side, and a little bit of your yoga side because of following you on Instagram. So I kind of wanted to put that last little piece
Of
in there
course.
of saying, yes, she's here, but there is a whole background there where she has experienced this, TV, the reality aspect of it, being part of like the next generation of what was a huge pop sensation in Mexico and Latin America, because it wasn't just Mexico, Latin America, Spain, as well. Some Brazil, because Brazil loves their Mexican soap operas and singers.
Huge.
So that's why I wanted to tap into that. And I want to thank you also, for being yourself, but also being vulnerable. I always try this space to be safe, for
Mhm.
the space to be safe and people to feel comfortable. And that's why we do what we do,
I,
so
I appreciate you. I hear you, Gemini. Thank you for showing my complex and contrasting energies, because that's a true Gemini recognizes that. And yeah, that TV show was like the highest ratings in like 10 years. And so after those shows, I still like, I kid you not, I go to Disneyland, and every so often it's like, Tamara, la del beso, because they had a whole thing about me finding my first kiss. I didn't realize that, like, me being so innocent and so sweet would be like ways to get
yeah.
tons of ratings. And so
Yeah.
they do this whole like, what haven't you done, what are you, what's your boyfriend? And so I had never had a boyfriend at 16, which I thought was normal, because I'm a Virgo at the end of the day. I'm freaking picky. But they were like, oh, we have to do like a whole audition to find your first kiss. And then I had my first kiss on national television. It was horrid, but but that was like huge ratings on like the shows that had nothing to do on my talent and everything to do on like my exploitation.
Yeah.
But I signed up for it, and you know what? I am glad it was what it was, because it was so sweet and genuine. And at the end of the day, you can just laugh and you can tell the stories, and I can tell like my students, or like my castmates, like, yeah, my first kiss was in national television, and still get recognized for it. Like, wow, that's the power of Latin media.
Yep.
And that's the power that I realized, like, wow, as a Latin woman, as a force that we belong to, like, we understand the power of media, the power of like of Televisa and TV Azteca, just two, right?
Yep.
Run by men,
Oh yeah.
right? And that's why
Older, yeah,
like older
exactly.
man,
Older men
man.
telling everybody else what to do
Oh
and what is
yeah, so
good and
that
what is
like
not.
now
Yeah.
that's where I want the revolution to start. It's like, I'm a Latina. I have this vision to create a beautiful new, wild, free, collaborative space that could be like the new MTV, that helps an artist move forward and expose their art into the virtual world and create beautiful content, Academy Award content, that sort of stuff. So yeah, at the end of the day, soy lo que soy, and I'm gonna always be who I am in honor of who came before me and who will come after me.
Mhm. That's great. And also, for people that are watching and are following, anything else that's coming up for you? after May 4th, any projects that you can disclose that we might see?
Yeah. I have been given the opportunity to work on the choreography for Pásale Pásale
Oh
and
my
South Super
God.
Bowl. So I do a lot of choreography too. I love creating. Creating is comes so easily to me. So I work with Patrice. I've been working with Patrice. I
Mhm.
always have this running joke. Every March, it's like we have something for the past 8 years, and I'm happy with that. Keep it coming, Patrice. Uh,
Yes.
so I'm going to be doing choreography for Pasale, the new workshop at Southwestern College. I actually was in the space now to decline a few offers just
Hmm.
because again I'm rising to my power, and that not that I'm like the ego is taking away from like opportunity, but I've already, you know me, I've been here for a while,
Mhm.
and like um because I'm taking charge of an ownership of what I'm envisioning, and it takes so much time and so much effort. I'm really dedicating that.
Mhm.
I'm going to be putting out lots of beautiful content with artists that I'm collaborating. A lot of music videos that I like, short films, music videos that I am creating with Indigo Collective.
Mhm.
I'm putting together a travel show with Indigo Collective,
Nice.
and events. There's going to be a Oh, this one I can talk about in June in the solstice.
Mhm.
This is going to be another Indigo Collective. It's going to be float. Um, so there's going to be an opportunity to soak and Shakespeare. So you get to soak in a pool, and at
Mhm.
the same time hear Shakespeare. There's going to be beautiful, delicious buffet. It's in a place called the Crystal Castle. We're going to have spoken word, poetry. We're going to have belly dancing. It's almost like Alice in the Goes East energy. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on that next event. I would love for you to attend.
For sure.
Again,
Yeah.
I was like really drawn to in the solstice, like having a space where we could float, like be in the water, but listen to like immerse yourself in Shakespeare, like, and then have these Shakespeare actors just go through their favorite Shakespeare verses and monologues. Just have
Mhm.
the freedom, the freedom to like go back and forth into what character they want and practice that and be have a space for that and get recognized for that and get paid for that. So you know who you are that are looking at this video, who you're gonna be called in a few weeks to do this with me. But yeah, like, and again, like this is all inspired by people like, oh, I wish I could do that. Like my castmates or artists that are like, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. I love to be a sponge. Again, the 12 housers do this, a
Mhm.
sponge of energy. And I kind of like take that energy and envision what we could do to create something together so that we can make it happen. Like
Mhm.
with money and with space and ideas and order.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
that's
good.
the
Putting
future.
it all together.
That's the future. I've declined a few shows, to be honest, because I'm working on my music, on a few short films, a travel show that I really want to get started. I've had this idea for a long time. I'm working on two scripts, a full feature film and a another short film. So like I'm just in this place of creating. If I do get the roles and calls for the right roles, yes, I will continue to audition like everybody else. I submit tons
Mhm.
of auditions. I go to auditions. I keep myself humble. I am a student. I love to be a student. I love to be with the new generation and the old generation, learning about both of them and being in the space of continuous growth. Like
Mhm.
I have never had my flame be water F.
Yeah.
I, I always I always feel my full flame, my full flame bursting. Like that's where my Latina comes. Like my Latina energy is just bursting all the time.
Love it. As it should. As it should. Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on the Zero, and people check the Indigo Collective and everything that they have coming up, and the Maytrix Experience, which is going to be a totally different one from what we've had in San Diego and in Carlsbad, which is like so nice and cool and fresh and with the water and all of that. And then on your social media, it's your handle. It's not today, it's Tamara.
It's not today, it's tomorrow. That got me a few. That got me a few. Like cast. I got cast in shows just because of that.
That's
Thankfully,
the best
yeah.
handle.
It helps. It helps people remember. I've said it before. I had a social media, so it just kind of fit perfectly.
It totally fits.
Mwah.
We wish you the best of success with everything that
Gracias,
you want.
mami. Thank you so much
Gracias,
for being the Gemini that listens, that shares your thoughts and your perspective. You are so important to our society and to what we need as artists. So I really, really appreciate all of you. I applaud you. Thank you for your space. Thank you for who you are. And I want to do things with you always. Like keep me in the loop of what you're doing. I'll keep you in the loop.
Yeah, for
Y nos
sure.
vemos pronto.
See, let me finish like how you started.
Sí. Oh, yes, 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 yes.
We're in sync.
Oh, yes. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is
No, you pick.
another zero.
That's right.
If you don't, if here we don't start from zero, we start from another zero. So
That's right. Hmm.
I know.
That's giving Zoolander, but it stays.
It works. It works. See you on the
It
next
works.
one.
See you on the next.